So welcome to this. I am quite excited about this. This is the first webinar that I'm on with Tracy from Illustrated Designs, and I believe you are a second generation owner
Yeah.
of this business, and have been thoroughly impressed with learning to know you over the last couple months, and I have high expectations for this seminar. I'm excited about it, and I always say I feel like marketing is a little bit like black magic. It's outside of my realm of my wheelhouse. So anytime I can learn little tricks and trades and get a little bit deeper into it, I'm willing to do that. So good to see everyone today. And Tracy, I'll turn it over to you because people are here to hear you, not me. So.
All right. Well, I am going to share my screen real quick and get going. So we do have a lot to cover. Thank you. You've given me a lot to live up to right there, Steve. But welcome to the webinar on Marketing Secrets, the Small Business Advantage. And I'm so excited today to share three of the huge advantages that I feel that small business owners have, even though they have small marketing budgets compared to the large budgets that the larger brands have. So my goal for you today is to walk away with some information to help motivate you to increase the effectiveness of your marketing efforts, all without spending a lot of money. Does it sound good? All right, so today, I know your time is valuable. So not only do I want to get as much useful information out in this webinar, I also want to say thank you to anyone who's able to stay to the end. I will have a special offer and a gift for you that I promise will save money, save time, and save a lot of frustration when it comes to marketing your business. So I'd like to get to know you guys a little bit better. I know there aren't a lot who were able to join us live, but I do have a poll that I would like to have you guys answer. How much do you know about marketing? Are you a newbie? Do you know a little, but you're frustrated? You know a little and you're pretty confident, or you feel like you're an expert? Okay, so I know a little, and in between frustrated and confident is what I'm seeing. Okay, great. So yeah, there we go. The poll thing is new to me, so stop sharing. There we go. Can get rid of that now. Okay. So I've shared this information in a webinar before, and I love hosting live webinars because I find them a little bit more beneficial than posting an on-demand recording, because if you have questions, you can ask them right away today. So I will be leaving time at the end, but feel free to enter any questions that you have into the chat, and I'll do my best to answer as many as I can. And just so you know, I am recording this and I will be emailing you a link so that you can rewatch it. You don't have to go crazy taking notes. Now, I do think that it's important that you know a little bit about me so that you know that what I'm sharing with you works. So first, my name is Tracy Pachaki, and I am the marketing strategist and owner of Illustrated Designs. I've been involved in marketing for over 25 years. And about 30 years ago, I earned my business degrees from Kutztown University in both marketing and management. But I love learning new things and sharpening the mind. So I'm always continuing my education. So just in the last couple of years, I completed a course with Cornell and a program with the Disney Institute. And in 2019, I was awarded a scholarship to attend the Google Tuck Digital Excellence Program in Atlanta at Google's offices. Now, I've actually gained my experience by helping countless companies of all sizes with both their marketing and events. And I've also been an employee at small companies as well as some well-known brands. And before I became the owner of Illustrated Designs, I was an employee at the company for years. So I not only know what you should be doing when it comes to your marketing, I actually understand firsthand just how challenging it can be to market yourself. But as Steve mentioned, I am honored to be the second generation owner of Illustrated Designs. My dad actually started the company back in 1968. And I am so lucky to be supported by an incredibly talented and creative team that includes graphic designers, website developers, content writers, and display fabricators. Now, in my career, I've done a lot of things right. I've helped a lot of business owners develop and stay focused on their company goals and create their businesses through their marketing. But I also did a lot of things wrong. especially when I took over my business. I really struggled switching the hat from an employee to a business owner, specifically when it came to marketing my business. Even though I knew what to do, I fell into the same traps that I see a lot of small business owners doing. But by making the mistakes, I was able to learn from them and uncover some secret advantages that small businesses have over the big brands. Now, I learned the hard way, so you get to cheat a little and take the easy way by learning from my mistakes. So my first mistake was what's known as the imposter syndrome. It's where those self-doubts, that lack of confidence, and also sometimes I got stuck in the lows. You know, we have that roller coaster of emotions as humans and especially as business owners. But once I recognized what was happening, I started to speak to other business owners, and so many confided that they also play those mind games. So can anyone else here relate to that? Yeah, I see some hands waving and heads nodding. Okay, so research shows that there are two types of people: those that overestimate their abilities and those that underestimate their abilities. So if you suffer from imposter syndrome, know that number one, you're not alone. And number two, you are underestimating your abilities. And my second mistake was that even though I knew better, I didn't do any research. I thought that my sparkling personality and my team's talents would speak for themselves. So I didn't spend time getting to know my ideal target audiences, and I didn't point my message to anyone specific. Many times I talked way too much about what we did by regurgitating all of our capabilities everywhere to everyone. Not to mention, I spent way too much time just mindlessly scrolling and posting on social media and then going to events and networking without a plan. And my third mistake was something that I used to think was a good attribute. I was so task driven that I didn't see the purpose in the idle chit chat before and after meetings. Again, I thought that the quality of our work would be enough to get a call the next time that a client needed a design project completed. Now, by first recognizing some of my mistakes and looking back at my career at some events that had occurred, I was able to uncover these three giant secret advantages that small businesses have over the larger companies. And the first is mindset and culture. The second is focused messaging. And the third is building and maintaining relationships. So let's take a look at each one a little bit closer. Now, when it comes to mindset and culture, I was thinking about this, and I remember after graduating from college, how excited I was to start working at a management training position for a really large retail company. And after reaching that management position, my job requirements included recruiting and training new employees into the program. And I loved everything about the job: interacting with customers, managing and training my staff. I even enjoyed inventory. If you name it, I loved it. And while I loved it, I excelled at it. Then something slowly started to shift. And if you've never worked in retail, there's something called a key holder. It's someone that's been through enough training and is trusted to have keys to the store. Well, the company I worked for required a key holder to be in the store every moment that the store was open. And what started to shift was that as a region, not enough people were being recruited and successfully finishing the training program. So as soon as someone did complete my training, they were promoted and taken out of my store. Now, at first, I was honored that my training was so successful, but what started to happen was that I was frequently the only key holder in that store. So I was responsible for being there 7 days a week, 12 hours a day. Now, I quickly went from feeling special in the company to just a number, as I had to repeatedly start to decline invitations to spend time with friends and family. And then sheer exhaustion started to set in. The passion that I once had for my career slowly turned to disdain. And I quickly realized that I no longer felt good about recruiting and training new people in the company, because I wasn't even sure that I wanted to be there. So I stopped doing it altogether. Now, my mindset had changed, and I was no longer effective at doing my job. So could you imagine effectively promoting yourself or your business when you're not feeling your best? Of course not. Now, how about when an employee isn't feeling their best? How do you think they're doing when it comes to representing your brand? Now, as a giant retailer, the company I worked for didn't recognize that my mindset had changed. They lost a really good employee because of it. But what if I had stayed and continued to have that negative energy with my staff and my customers? I could have damaged their reputation, at least just a little. But as small businesses, you not only have control over your own mindset, but with fewer employees, you can not only share your excitement and passion for what you do, you can see very quickly when the mindset of your staff has changed and make quick adjustments. Now, in Brene Brown's book, Daring Greatly, she says, when we're disengaged, we don't show up, we don't contribute, and we stop caring. And as a small business owner, that's something you really want to avoid in yourself and your team. Because marketing isn't just about your Facebook posts, about your direct mail pieces. By definition, marketing includes all of the activities that a company uses to promote itself and sell its products or services to its consumers. Now, I actually take that a step further and say that every person in your business is technically part of your marketing team, from the people who answer the phones to the warehouse staff, putting orders together, even your janitors, because every aspect of your business that's a touch point for your customers and potential customers is marketing your brand. Now that's super important, so I'm going to say it again. Every aspect of your business that's a touch point for your customers and potential customers is marketing your brand. So as a business owner, I work daily on my mindset, including daily affirmations and all kinds of exercises that I use and tools that I've found to be effective. I also check in with my team frequently. And even though we all work remotely, I keep check on everyone's mindset and have created a culture where we're comfortable with each other to speak up when we're getting overwhelmed or not feeling in the right mindset. Now, I do know some great managers at large companies that practice having great mindset and business cultures, but the larger the company gets, the smaller each employee feels, and therefore it's more challenging to keep everyone's mindset at a high vibration level. And if everyone at your company is part of your marketing team, you're going to want to ensure that a good mindset is in place before you or they interact with customers and before they create a blog post or attend a networking event. Now, my second secret is all about focused messaging. Now, a few years ago, I was honored to be certified as a women-owned business, and I was so excited to attend my first event through the organization that certified me called WeBack. Now, WeBack has a conference where they do something that's like a reverse trade show. And the concept is that we get to pitch as small businesses to major corporations what we do. And I went in that first year with what I thought was a plan, but all it really was a list of the companies that I wanted to pitch to. So really, I went in without a plan. So without knowing anything about my audience or their needs, I spewed out every one of our capabilities in a 60-second, all right, maybe it was more like a 5-minute commercial, and I could see their eyes just glazing over. Now, I walked away that day completely exhausted and without a single good lead. But the next year, I was better prepared. I researched each company, looked into projects they'd worked on in the past that would be a good fit for our team. And then I went in with an edited down commercial and a targeted PowerPoint presentation on my iPad. And that year, I had a real plan. That year, I walked away with over 10 very good contacts, had a few follow-up calls, and within a couple of weeks, we had a new client that over the next 6 months brought us over $30,000 in new business. Now, yeah, our work spoke for itself, but because my message and presentation targeted their needs, they heard it this time. So as a small business, you can easily research your industry, your competition, and your target markets because you're closer to them. You actually get to interact directly with them and ask them questions, quickly see how they respond to new products and services and offers, and adjust your messaging to appeal directly to them. You can also make changes a lot quicker than the giant companies can. So as small businesses, you get to be very specific when developing your customer personas. And again, you can ask them how they like to gather information, shop, and how they like to communicate. Now, large companies look at just the data And typically the only interaction that their owners or marketing team ever has with customers is if they host a focus group. So for small businesses, market research can be a lot less formal, allowing you to do your own SWOT analysis, develop your own unique selling proposition, and set smarter goals, and develop accurate customer personas, allowing you to really speak to your customers with that focused messaging that grabs their attention that they can relate to. So I know we're going through a lot. If you have any questions, just please put them into the chat. And I do have one more secret that I want to go over, but I have another poll for you before we go there. So what types of marketing have you tried in the past or are currently doing? And then the second part is, what types of marketing do you want to start using or using more effectively? I'll give you a couple seconds. All right, direct mail. Tom, you'll like that. Social media, networking groups. I hope everyone said networking groups, because if you're part of the chamber, you've done networking groups. So the third secret is from a very young age. I remember watching my dad work. He frequently brought me along to check out a job at a printer or watch him set up at an event. And later, when I became an employee, I joined him at business meetings. And I started to notice that he consistently did three things. Number one, he treated everyone with respect, from the receptionist to the owner of the company and everyone in between. It didn't matter. They were all greeted with a big smile, eye contact, and a hello. The second thing he always did is ask them questions about their personal lives, their spouses, their kids, their hobbies. And the third thing is he talked about other projects that he was working on for other clients with such enthusiasm. And I have to tell you, this drove me nuts because I was so task driven. I always just wanted to get in and out of each meeting and get straight to business and spend more time working on the client's projects. After all, I thought they were just paying us to create results for them, not getting to know the details about their new puppy or grandchild. I didn't realize until years later that he was building relationships, and very strong relationships, with everyone along the way. What that did was actually brought us more projects and referrals, because his excitement about the other projects he was working on showed everyone that not only did he love what he did, but he also told people about the additional capabilities that his company had to offer. So as a small business, you can really get to know your customers, know about their likes and dislikes, their families, their pets, their strengths, their weaknesses, and goals. I actually know some of my clients prefer a text message over an email. I think I know some of them better than they know themselves. And I know them on such a deep level that if a giant brand ever knew them this well, it would be kind of creepy. So think about it. Don't you love it if you go to your favorite restaurant and they can recommend a new wine to you because they already know what styles you like? Or if a supplier calls you because they have a new capability that they think will save you time or appeal to your customers. It's great, right? Today, customers want you to know about them and their needs. So now, with all the ways that we have to communicate at our disposal, it can seem overwhelming. But by knowing our customers and knowing how they like to receive information, as small businesses, we can create marketing mixes that continue to improve upon our customers' journey by developing content that's consistent, helpful, and appealing to them and to our future customers, ultimately nurturing and deepening those relationships. Now, once I started finding the success with these secrets and sharing them with our customers, I wanted to share them with as many people as I can. So I've come up with these three secrets. Oh, sorry, I missed a slide there, or went the wrong way. There we go. Okay. So the first secret that I was able to unveil is mindset and culture, and then focus messaging and building and maintaining relationships. So do we have any questions on that?
Oh.
make a good point about relationships. Yes, it's all about building the know, like, and trust factor. Absolutely, Steve. Okay, so working on the mindset for your and culture for yourself and your employees and your business is obviously important. As much as we'd like to be all things to all people, focused messaging is really going to be where you get to your target audience. And then, of course, building and maintaining relationships is where you get to really get to know your customers on a deeper level, so much more than the big brands. All right, so I do have one last question for you. Oh, I see we have a question. Is there a way to do that other than one-on-one? Yeah, how do you connect with multiple targets in one shot? So reaching out to multiple target audiences in one shot can be difficult. I think that you really want to kind of focus your efforts on individual target audiences through your messaging, but you can have multiple audiences and just put out different messaging to them. Just to give you an example, for us, we do a lot in the event world, and those are typically larger companies like Avon. They're not going to be as receptive to the same email or social media campaign that we put out when it comes to a direct mail piece for a small business. So we target our messaging for both of those. Our postcards look different, our emails look different, our social media posts look different because we're taking into consideration each one of the target audiences. Okay, so my last poll is, do you have a marketing plan? And where do you feel in that range? Okay, so we have, yes, I love it, and nope, I'm just winging it. Awesome, I love it. So you're not alone if you're just winging it. I'll tell you that right now. Okay, so any other questions before I go into what I promised you at the beginning, a little offer here? Okay, so a lot of people might be asking what's next, right? And as much as you might be saying, yeah, that all sounds great, but Tracy, I need help with finding what makes me unique and tools to help identify and learn about my ideal target audiences and choosing how and where I'm going to market my business, then you're going to be thrilled because I've created a program where I walk you through developing your own marketing plan. And in the program, we go much deeper than a webinar ever could. It includes exercises on mindset and setting SMART goals, identifying your ideal target audiences, reviewing your marketing channels, and developing compelling content, and much more. Now, I chose this image because I love cookies, but not cookie cutter solutions. And that's why this program allows you to create your very own marketing plan based on your products and services, your audiences, and your goals. And instead of cookie cutter solutions, I share with you a step-by-step roadmap because I believe if you understand who you are as a brand and really know who your ideal customers are, you'll not only understand how to effectively reach them, but also be able to quickly pivot should something change. Now, I recognize that sometimes as small business owners, we feel alone and we don't feel like we have a safe place to ask questions and brainstorm ideas out of the fear of judgment. So the truth is that no one is successful alone. So during this 30-day intensive marketing challenge, you'll not only take your understanding of marketing from beginner to intermediate, but you'll also have a safe community to help and support you take the first steps, ultimately creating momentum and bringing focus to your marketing efforts. So we will be going through quite a bit, including the SWOT analysis and finding your unique selling proposition, setting your SMART goals, and having workshops to brainstorm and work through all of those exercises together. But we're going to meet 8 times, twice a week for 4 weeks as a group, and each session's interactive, so you can ask questions and get feedback. There will be assignments which will help you to develop your own marketing plan at the end of the 30 days. And I will be recording all of those so that you can rewatch them. And I will also be sharing a list of free and low-cost marketing resources, and of course, share best practices for marketing, design, copywriting, and more. Now, the value of the program is around $1,000, but what I've done is lowered it. Right now, I know a lot of small businesses are suffering, so it's an investment of $397. And as a bonus, at the end of the program, I'm offering a one-on-one 60-minute call with me to review your completed marketing plan, give you any feedback, and give you any suggestions that are necessary. Again, that's valued at $300, bringing your total value of right around $1,300. But again, $397, no hassle, 100% money back guarantee if you're not satisfied. And you might be wondering, who's it for? And it's definitely for a solopreneur. It's for someone who's growing or starting a small business without a marketing team. And it's also for the person that's been put into a marketing role that hasn't had any marketing background or training. Now, I've given this program before, and I've had quite a few great people give me some amazing feedback. Now, I wanted to let you know that this actually starts next week on Tuesday, but registration closes on Monday at noon. Again, I wanted to remind you that we have a no hassle money back guarantee. And I will, like I said, I will be emailing you the recording of this 30-day marketing, this webinar, and I'll include a link for the marketing challenge if you're interested in joining and learning more about that. So other than that, I wanted to let you know that I am going to be sending you as well a free gift. I'm in the process of recording a marketing mindset on demand program that I'm going to share the link with you that you'll have access to for a full 30 days. And that should be available in the next week or so. So keep your eye out on your email for that free gift. I think that as small business owners, keeping a check of our mindset on a regular basis is really important. So like I said, keep your eye open for that. And if we're not already, let's connect on LinkedIn, Facebook, or Instagram. There's the name of my company, as well as my email address and my contact information if anyone has any questions after this. So before we go, do we have any other questions?
None for me.
Yeah, I don't have anything. That was good. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, this is great, Tracy. Thanks very much.
You're very welcome. I hope that this recording reaches a lot of people that weren't able to join us live, but they're a loss, right?
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Have a great day and stay warm.